Hello friends, I'm Dipanjali Arora. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today's pick a card reading has been a request from one of my subscribers. I want to thank each and every one of you who's watching my videos and who's liking it and who's commenting about it. And I also want to say that if you want me to do a particular reading, please feel free to ask me in the comment sections and I shall do the needful. So let's see what's today I'm going to do. Now today we are going to discuss and figure out what is the future of the relationship that you are involved in. You could be married, you could be having a long-term relationship, or it could be that you've just started a relationship. So we are going to check how this relationship is going to be, how it's going to affect you, how how you're going to help each other grow, or what is the strength of the relationship, in short, is what we are going to figure out in this reading. As usual, I have 4 different piles. This is pile number 1, pile number 2, pile number 3, and pile number 4. Pile number 1 has this beautiful cherub holding a heart with believe written on it. Pile number 2 is this turquoise green fairy. Pile number 3 is pink fairy. And pile number 4 is this beautiful, beautiful cherub. I'll also insert an overhead shot so that it's easier for you to choose your pile. So choose your pile according to the numbers or according to the fairies and cherubs. But mostly I suggest use your intuition. Choose the pile which is calling out to you. If you need more time, please pause the video. Now I'll begin with pile number 1. So let's see what's in the reading for group number 1. Now these are the guidance cards which we shall see towards the end of the reading. I'll keep them here. Now these cards give me details about yourself, about how you see relationships and what it brings to you in general. I shall be shuffling the cards on camera to understand how the relationship is going to progress and how the other person is, how you see it, and all the details. Now let's see. Now this is astrology, Vedic astrology deck tarot. Now this tells us about your personality, what kind of a person are you, and that will throw more light, that will give us more understanding about how you see relationships, right? Now, oh lovely, this is South Node Ketu. Yeah, now Ketu is a shadow planet in astrology. It's not a real planet, but it's a very, very powerful planet. It is to do with, basically it's to do with renunciation. It's a moksha karaka, like you need to let go of things. That's what Ketu teaches you. Be it money, be it fame, be it relationships, any kind of attachments is what the Ketu says that you need to let go of, you need to renounce it. So, but what happens in a relationship when Ketu becomes prominent in a relationship? It also has a lot of Ketu also is a planet in the astrology, in Vedic astrology, which deals with past life. So you meet karmic partners, you meet people you have met before. So it could happen that you are in a relationship and you know a person without knowing or understanding why you know the details that you know, because that's something deeply embedded in your subconscious mind. It could also, and since Ketu is about renunciation, it could also be that you as a person, even if you feel something very deeply, you do not show it outside. Your very close-knit friend circle or very close-knit people only know how deeply you feel about things, because others might have an impression about you that you don't really care. but that's not the truth. You do care, and you care very deeply, because Ketu as an energy is about renunciation, of about letting go. That's why you're not able to express it well. So it could happen that your partner feels that uh, they don't understand you at times, because you're not explaining yourself to them. Sometimes we need to explain ourselves to people, because you have a very deeply embedded understanding of people, of situation, but that's not the case with the partner sometimes. So that can lead to confusion. That can lead to a feeling of being left alone. So you need to be careful of that. You need to be more expressive, because since your personality is what it is showing me here is ruled by Ketu, you are not very, very expressive. So that could lead to some kind of challenges in a relationship. Now let's see what other cards have to say. Now, this is a Moonology deck tarot. It talks about your mindset. It says confidence is the key to success. New moon in Leo. So you really want, in your mind, you really want to be out there. You really want to charge ahead. You want to be in the center, taking care of things, and being seen. Now these are two very opposing energies. I hope you understand this. Ketu does not want to be seen. Ketu likes to be at the back end. But when you have new moon in Leo as a sign likes to be the center of the focus, because it's a lion or a lioness. So that's what your mind is telling you. Your mind is telling you to charge ahead, to be more expressive. You want to be more expressive. You want to be more out there. That's what is your mind saying. But your basic personality is more about uh, being distant, and more about more about a journey which is more inward. And yes, because since Ketu is denoting your personality, I would say that you're quite psychic, or you are and also you have a very strong intuition. Your intuition power will also be very strong. So you are intuitive, you are psychic, you are also maybe somebody who's very spiritual or meditative. And here comes Leo, which is asking you to charge ahead, which is asking you to, in your mind, you really want to charge ahead. You really want to express yourself, but your personality holds you back. So these are the two opposing energies which I see playing out for you, my dear group number one. Now, if these two cards resonate with you, then you have picked up the right group. If it doesn't, because these are your energies, so you will come to know if it is 60-70% right, then I suggest then this is your deck. Otherwise, feel free to choose another pile. Right now, let's see what are you bringing towards your relationship from your past. Now, this is a past life tarot deck from Doreen Virtue. It says imprisonment or slavery. Wow, this is very interesting. Now, because this card tells me that you are a very compassionate and an empathetic person, because you have suffered some kind of a confinement in your past life. So that makes you very understanding of people when they are floundering or if they are making mistakes. So that could mean that you attract such kind of people towards you easily, who are dependent on you, who want your help, who are in some kind of a trouble. So that could be that those are the kind of relationships generally you attract in your life, my dear group number one. So you need to be careful that people are not taking undue advantage or making use of your good nature, because you understand suffering. And also Ketu being here, your past life understanding of things is very, very prominent. You subconsciously remember things, you subconsciously react to things. If a new situation occurs, you won't be fazed by it, because you know what to do about it. That is the Ketu energy playing out. And in the past, you have suffered some kind of imprisonment, or you have been or slavery. So it makes you extremely empathetic about people who are suffering. So we attract those kind of people. They want to use us to get better, but that could be a lot of burden that you carry in your relationships. Now this is a relationship reading, so you might be attracting, or you have attracted somebody who is hurt, who needs healing, and somehow they feel that being with you is going to help them and heal them. Right now, let's see what tarot has to say. about how the other person is. Now let's first figure out, this is about you. Now let's figure out what energies the other person is bringing to this relationship, and then we'll see what is the future of the relationship. So that will give us a better idea. Now, what are the energies of the partner for pile number one? Spirit, what are the energies of the partner of pile number one? What are they bringing to the relationship? Too many cards, I won't take this. This one. What are the energies? Okay, let's see if something else is supposed to fall. What are the energies the partner of pile number one is bringing in the relationship? Okay, too many again. I will take these. Let's see what these cards have to say. Now, Ten of Wands. We have Page of Cups. We have Six of Cups. We have Nine of Cups. And we have Queen of Wands. This is beautiful. So your partner is bringing in a lot of love, lot of passion, lot of joy in the relationship. Though sometimes you feel a lot of burden, they feel a lot of burden possibly, because how they feel about it, they feel they have to carry the load of the relationship on their shoulder. You see this man is carrying all the wands on his shoulder, so they might feel burdened by it. It could be possibly because you're not very expressive, so they feel they have to take the entire responsibility of things, and to make things happen. But I think this is something you have to be, you should work upon this. They should not feel that they are only entirely, wholly, and solely responsible for making this relationship grow or taking it further. But the other cards are very, very beautiful. We have Page of Cups. We have Six of Cups. Again, Six of Cups have come for them also. For them also, this is a past life connect. So you guys could be in a very beautiful relationship where the feeling of knowing and understanding each other is very strong. It could be that you say something, you don't, even if you do not say something, you both understand each other, even if the other person is not telling you what they really want, but you have an understanding of it, what they want. And it is both ways, I see, because you also have Ketu as a prominent energy for you. So they understand you and you understand them. And there is a lot of love, because Page of Cups is a card, is a page which is giving this beautiful offer of love uh, to the in a partnership. And then we also have this Nine of Cups. So Nine of Cups is a wish fulfillment card. It could be when you met each other, or when you are together, you feel all your wishes, all your prayers have been answered. When you met each other, you felt complete, you felt abundant, you feel that you can do anything in life. And the next card is the Queen of Wands. So this is a very passionate, very loving relationship. I'm very happy to see these cards, my dear group number one, because it makes me feel that you are in a very, very healthy, very, very beautiful relationship, because the other person really loves you, feels very passionate about you, wants to grow with you, and has a feeling of abundance, has a feeling of joy and abundance in his or her life. But all you have to take care of is this feeling that they feel they have the entire responsibility of relationship on their shoulders, and you are not sharing equal load. So if that is a situation, I think you should sit and talk to them, and sort this one particular issue which I see is coming up here in your cards, because rest of the cards are pretty positive. Now, well, let's see. What is the future of this relationship? Now, first we saw your energies, we saw their energies. Now, let me take out cards, what the tarot has to say about the future of this partnership or this relationship. I won't take so many cards. All right. What is the future of this relationship? I don't pick up too many cards when they fall, because sometimes they slip out of hand. If a few of them fall, then I pick them. So, tell me, Spirit, what is the future of this relationship? future is too bright, I guess. All the cards wants to fall down. What is the future of this relationship? Please. Okay. So let's see. Wheel of Fortune, Eight of Pentacles, Three of Wands, Three of Pentacles, and Six of Swords. The future is quite bright and nice. So now let's see what we have here. I think both of you are very committed to working on the relationship. You're committing to building it. You're committed to your growth. You want to work together. Possibly you will start working together or start a business or a venture together. That's also there. And there's a lot of hard work which is going into building it together. And there is also, we have Wheel of Fortune which says things change with time. So it also is about divine timing. In future, if say now when Wheel of Fortune comes, it can mean multiple things. It can mean if you're feeling low, if and it's about finances. So I see a lot of cards about there are a lot of pentacles, so it's about finances, what the Wheel of Fortune is talking about. If you feel your finances are low as of now, you're not it's not working as well, and if you have started something and it's not started, you haven't seen growth on it in it as yet, because Three of Wands is about starting joint ventures. It's about having the openness about you to do your work, having the clarity in the vision and the ideas. But when the clarity happens, that doesn't mean that's when you will strike gold. No, it takes a while. So when the Wheel of Fortune comes, it talks about divine timing. It says that the energies will shift. If you're feeling things not work for you right now, they will start working for you in future, because I see this partnership growing. I see you guys working together, and I also see you guys building, because since, as I said, there's a lot of pentacles. It's about manifestation, it's about growth, it's about expansion, and it's about, we have also with the Wheel of Fortune, we also have Six of Swords. So if you're going through some turbulent times, if you're going through some kind of challenges as of now, and I feel the challenges could be in your workspace. So if the challenges are there in your finances and in your workspace, don't worry, because soon the tide will change and things will start shifting for you in your favor. So that's what I see. Now that is for the majority of you, but I see there are two threes which have come into this spread. You see Three of Pentacles and Three of Wands. Now when threes come in the love reading or in a relationship reading, it talks about some third party entering into a relationship, which is most of the time not a very good news. So let me see what the card has to say about what is these three denoting, because it can denote your work, your expansion, or it can denote an interference of somebody in your life, which can create problem. That is why but then in the end we have Six of Swords, which is telling you are walking away from turbulent waters. You're walking away from situations which are not working. So the relationship will move towards easier times and easier play. As I said, relationship will move towards easier time, but I want to figure out what these threes are denoting. So let's see. Is it denoting a person, or is it denoting you guys working together? Because for majority of you, I feel Three of Pentacles and Three of Wands is talking about you guys expanding your work and working together and growing together. But for some of you, yeah, it can mean an interference. But whatever interference it is, yeah. Now this is Nine of Wands is about creating boundaries, and okay, lot of passion now in your card suddenly. So we have Nine of Wands and we have Seven of Wands. So both the cards I feel three of pentacles and three of wands is talking about for most of you, for 90% of you, is talking about challenges that you might face in work, because nine of wands talk about creating boundaries. You see, working hard and not giving up. So there is something which you are trying to create together, and it is taking a lot of energy and a lot of focus from your end. So that is why you're working hard. And you see, this person might be tired, but he doesn't have a give up energy. He is at it. And seven of wands is talking about opposition. But you see, this the stance of this person, he is not faced by the opposition, he's not scared of the opposition. He is making his point, he's taking his claim. So whatever work that you are doing, you might reach a stage wherein you say, okay, this is it, I cannot, it's not working out, I cannot take it take it to the next level. But do not give up, because cards are saying you will be able to step up your game, you will be able to stake your claim, and then you will see easier times with the seven of swords. Seven of swords is a beautiful energy which is showing easier time. So it could be just something which is talking about your relationship. Now if I see it only as a relationship and not as something which you are working together as, then I see you're working hard in the relationship, there is a lot of appreciation, you're planning your trips abroad. This could also mean planning your trips abroad, you're planning your travel, and this means that you are actually traveling, right, overseas, because he's going through this guy is traveling over the ocean or the sea, we don't know. So this could mean that you are planning your trips overseas, and you both of you uh, would want to travel together, work together, and work on the relationship. So what I'm seeing here is the energy of not giving up on anything, which is very, very beautiful and very, very positive. So do not give up on anything. I do not see a major issue coming up in your future. Only thing is, it requires you to do a lot of hard work, and it requires you to be patient, and you do not have to give up, and you will not. Right, my dear group, now group number one. Now let's see what the messages we are getting. Now this is the Goddess Tarot. It says Hathor, receptivity. Allow yourself to receive. This will increase your intuition, energy, and ability to give to others. Beautiful. So you need to be in the energy of receptivity, because I feel your partner is in a very good space, because we got a lot of cups for your partner, right? Here it is. We had Page of Cups, we had Six of Cups, we had Nine of Cups. So your partner is in a very positive receiving mode, and that is what you need to increase in yourself, my dear group number one. You need to be able to receive without feeling guilty about it. Sometimes we are guilty for the pleasures that we receive, we are guilty about the gifts that we receive. So when Hathor comes, she says you have to stop feeling guilty about stuff, because when you receive, that's when you are ready to give, because universe is all about give and take, right? So that's what Hathor is saying. Detached from drama, Athena, beautiful war goddess, Greek war goddess, and this goddess wins the war, not using arms and ammunition. She wins it because she uses her intellect and her wisdom. So that is what the goddess, the ascended masters are asking you to do, to use your intelligence, to use your wisdom, because you know it all. As I said, you have the South Node Ketu, you know it all. You know how you are any which ways a wise soul. You are an old soul, and you know what is the right way of approaching things and how to take it forward, and you should use that knowledge in your relationships, is what Athena is saying, and not get stuck up in drama of the situation, little fights and all. Just look at the bigger picture, look at the bigger picture, and make the right kind of choices based on that. Beautiful Queen of Roses. Now this is a queen of, again, it's a Queen of Cups, which is about love, passion, intuition. It's about all the beautiful things in life. So this is a queen, again, this is, if Hathor is asking you to be more receptive, then this Queen of Roses is saying you actually are very receptive. You are full of love, you are full of loving energies, you have lots to give to other people, and this shows somebody who is happy at home, who is happy working from home as well, and is very creative. Now, Queen of Roses is a very, very creative queen. So your creative side is very prominent, and that's what makes you very intuitive as well, and makes you very loving as well. So that is what the cards are saying. So now also I want to see what the Lenormand cards have to say about your relationship. So let's see how your relationship is. Oh, beautiful. Lilies. Now, lilies also talk about something which is very old. So when I say old, I'm not saying you're old married couple. No, I mean this relationship which you are in um, is coming down to you from ages. Like you know what it is, and it's the tree is about healing, health, about being deeply rooted in your truth. So your relationship is beautiful, coming down to you from past life, and it is very deeply rooted. It's a very strong, stable relationship that I see, and it's going to grow. You're going to, again, the clock tower is about this talks about um, work. It's uh, the clock tower means growth in work. So I feel together you and your partner will build a beautiful life, will build a very abundant life together. And I don't see any major issues coming up in your spread, my dear group number one. Only I feel is that you should be more open about your emotions, you should be more receptive, you should be more expressive, so that your partner doesn't feel the entire burden of the relationship, because there is a lot of love here, there is a lot of passion, there is a lot of growth. So beautiful, beautiful spread. So you do understand each other, you do you do know what each of you want. You know your dreams, you can discuss your dreams with each other, and you will grow together. So that is what this entire spread is telling me. It's a beautiful, beautiful relationship. So good luck to you, my dear group number one. Now let's see what's in store for group number two. Hello, my group number two. So let's see what cards are telling us about your relationship. So these are the guidance cards, oracle cards, which we'll check towards the end of the reading. Now these three cards tell me about you, how you think, how you feel, and why you are the way you are. And if the reading of these three cards resonates with you, then this is your pile. If it doesn't, then feel free to choose another pile. All right. So we are doing a relationship. We are doing the reading about what's the future of your relationship. So before that, we are going to figure out who you are. What are your feelings? What are your thoughts towards things? How you see or perceive things in your present life, right? So the first card is from the Vedic astrology deck. It's talking about 8th house. 8th house is about mystery. That's what 8th house is about. So there could be things in your life which nobody knows about, my dear group number two, which you do not disclose to people easily. You do not talk about it. Uh, or maybe sometimes even you are not even aware of it. It comes to you with a surprise. Suddenly you learn something about your life, and it's got an element of surprise to it. So that could be the 8th house. And it is also very difficult to understand 8th house, because it actually deals with the unknown. So that's your characteristics. Getting too close to you or knowing you will be done by only select few, and they also might not know your true nature, or what really makes you tick, or what is it that really you want. Or sometimes it's also hidden from you, my dear group number two. That is also a possibility with 8th house energies. But it's a very psychic, very intuitive, very powerful house, and it also deals with death. So maybe you have seen things end in your life. Death, not exactly people dying, that could be part of it, or things ending. So there is a lot of transformation that you have gone through in your personal life, and it has defined you. So changes, I think, when 8th house is what defines you, then changes or suddenness does not really scare you. You can accept it much more easily than the other person, because that's the energy that you're born with, my dear group number 2. So what scares other people is like, okay, for you it's like, all right, things are shifting, things are changing, things are ending, it's fine, something new will begin. So that's how you are, as a person, as a personality, that's how you are, and you're very passionate. Eighth house is also a very very passionate house, so it's got a lot of sexual energy to it. So your relationship are definitely going to be very sexual and very passionate, that's also for sure. And you might also want to keep it as a secret, you might not want to tell it to the world at large, you might not like to declare it to people, not because you're ashamed of it. It could be because you just want people to mind their own business and you don't want people interfering in your personal space. This could mostly happen if you are in a relationship and you are not married. That you would, in at the initial stages, you might want to keep the relationship a secret, right? Or you can have a secret relationship, either which ways you see it. But yes, you need to explain that to your partner, why you are doing what you're doing and why you're not comfortable with people interfering in your personal space. So if your partner knows this, it's fine, otherwise it would create an issue, right? So now let's see what the Moonology cards have to say. It's saying, full moon in Virgo, you are good enough. So this is your personality, my dear group number 2, and this is your mindset as of, as far as relationships are concerned. uh, I think you feel a little scared. You are over analyzing things. You feel you're overcritical of yourself. That's what this card is telling me, and that's what the Moonology deck is saying, is that you are good enough. You really don't need to overanalyze things. You don't need to be very critical. You don't need to figure out, keep finding faults in yourself and finding reasons, why that makes you feel you're not good enough. But you are enough the way you are, and you need to accept that part of yourself. And when full moon in Virgo comes, it brings everything to the forefront. So that's the energy. And also, full moon in Virgo says that you need to be very careful about your diet and nutrition, right? So you need to take care of your body, and you are fine the way you are, with your mysteries, with your secrecy, with your psychic energies, with your intuition, with your power. You're fine the way you are, and you need to accept yourself before others will accept you. If you're wanting people to accept you, love you, like you, then you need to accept yourself first, is what this full moon in Virgo is saying. And stop being over critical about things, and specifically about yourself. Now let's see what energies you're bringing from your past life. This is a past life tarot by Doreen Virtue, and the energies you're bringing are of travel. So, and it's on ships. Now, it's not travel by road; it's on ships. So maybe you live near the sea, or you feel a special attraction towards the sea or the ocean or the water bodies. Um, it could be that you were a traveler before, and or it could be that you wanted to travel but you couldn't do it. That was your predominant desire, that you wanted to travel but it didn't happen. So in this lifetime, either you like to explore different places, or you simply don't want to go anywhere because you have traveled enough. You're like, I'm tired, I've done enough, I've seen the world, I don't want to see anything more. So these are the two opposing things which can happen. Either you love to travel or you don't, but either ways you have a very special connect with the sea. Maybe when you are, if you're living near um, if you're living near a beach, then whenever you are upset, or you don't know what is the right choice or right decision to make in any circumstances, then a walk on the beach will clear your mind. And if, say, you do not live near the ocean, or if you do not live near the sea, then take a bath. If you're confused, if you're angry, go take a shower, and it'll clear your mind, because you do have a strong connect with the water. Now let's see what the tarot has to tell us about your partner. What energies is your partner bringing into the relationship? So you are bringing in secrecy, you are bringing in a lot of sexuality, you are bringing in a lot of mystery, and you are bringing in a little bit of confidence issues because of the full moon in Virgo. You are bringing in desire for travel, or no desire for travel. These are the energies that you are bringing in. Now, what is your partner bringing in? We have Three of Wands, which has fallen. Now, let's see what else is your partner bringing in. Okay, this wants to come out. Sorry. What are the energies for group number 2 partner? She's bringing into the relationship. Cards. Now let's see what the tarot has to say. We have Three of Wands. We have Page of Wands. Your partner is also bringing in a lot of passion, my dear. Lovely. We have Two of Cups. Eight of Wands. Five of Wands. The Sun. And the Ace of Cups. So I straight away see a lot of passion in your relationship. So much so that you also end up fighting and arguing with each other over your point of views. So there is, or it could be that you met each other over an argument. You might when you met your partner for the first time, you were fighting with the person. That could also happen. Or in the relationship, you have a lot of arguments, and that brings, that passion, that heat keeps the relationship going, because I see a lot of expansion. You have plans for expansion. There is because Page of Wands also talks about starting some new enterprise, starting some new something new. And again, when I see a Three of Wands and I see the card of Ships, it also tells me that you really would like to travel. You really would like to see the world, because this man has the way he's standing, you feel that he wants to go out there and conquer the world. That's the feeling that you get. So yeah, and then with the Page of Wands, again, you both are, as I'm saying, you both are very passionate, and your partner is also very passionate. You have 8th house energies, no doubt about your passion and your sexuality. So this, your partner also could be somebody who's very young, because we have the Page energy here. So you could, your partner could be much younger than you, or somebody who's very youthful. Now this person also loves to be outdoors. There is some kind of a serendipity happening in the relationship, as in you are at the right place at the right time. That's what happens with your partner. He or she feels very lucky, and they are at the right place at the right time. That's for sure. So some kind of messages or news or information keeps coming to them. They keep getting the downloads from the universe, because Eight of Wands is very strong. And then you have Two of Cups. There is a lot of love as well. There is Ace of Cups and there is Two of Cups. So you have a very equal give and take in the relationship. The relationship is more like a partnership, wherein nobody is superior and nobody is inferior. And it's a very beautiful, very loving, very affectionate kind of a partnership. Though there is a lot of passion in the relationship, there is a lot of abundance I see with the Sun card. There is a lot of abundance, there is a lot of growth. And for all those who are already married or already in a long-term relationship and wanting to start a family, Sun is a very, very positive card of saying that you'll be blessed with a healthy child. So this is a good card for conception, for for building taking your relationship to the next level. So that also I see very strongly in your cards. Very, very beautiful relationship, my dear. Energies of your partner, my dear, group number 2, because your partner wants and is somebody you can depend upon. He or she is somebody who wants the relationship to grow. They are someone who has a lot of love and want it to be an equal relationship. Yeah, equal give and take. And they want to have kids with you, because Sun card is there. So they really do want to have a child. So that means they want to make the relationship permanent. Now let's see what is the future of this relationship with these many beautiful energies. What is the future of the relationship for too many cards for group number 2? What is the future of this relationship? What is the future future of this relationship. Just a moment. Let's see the cards of talked here. So, what is the future of this relationship? Nine of Cups. My group number 1 also had Nine of Cups, and you have also drawn Nine of Cups. King of Pentacles, Judgment, and we have King of Swords. So as I said, both you and your partner are in kind of the equal type of a relationship, which shows with the Two of Cups. It's like a partnership, and we have two kings in the future of your relationship. We have King of Pentacles and we have King of Swords, and we also have Judgment, and we have Nine of Cups. So now what it is telling me? It is telling me this relationship would feel like a wish fulfillment happening for you. It is going to fulfill all your desires, all your hopes. If and it will help you build your life in a better way. You will feel more abundant. You will feel very settled. Like we have this King of Pentacles here, and it's a long-term relationship. This relationship that you are inquiring about is a long-term relationship. Even if you are not married right now, maybe, but you will be. You will be in a long-term relationship, because that's what King of Pentacles is telling me here. And then we have also the King of Swords. So there is going to be a lot of clarity. It could be in future also. You will have a lot of arguments, because you both won't take any kind of nonsense from each other also, which is a good thing. So King of Swords is a very clear-cut communicator. He sometimes feels like somebody who is not very emotional about things which he's talking about, but he is clear-cut communicator because he does not let emotions bother him. So that is also I see in the future of your relationship, that you would feel like your wishes are being fulfilled. It is a long-term relationship. There is a lot of clear-cut communication happening. Either one of you are playing the role of one of the kings. Either you are the King of Pentacles and your partner is King of Swords, or it's the role reversal. So see what resonates. But it is also telling me the card of rebirth. So there is an energy of rejuvenation in your relationship in the future. So if something has not gone right in the relationships for you previously, all that will be taken care of in future, because you see these people are coming out of their graves. They're coming out. So it's a kind of rejuvenation happening, rebirth happening. It's the card of the truth coming out. That's why King of Sword is also here. So there's a lot of truth which is going to come out. As I said in the beginning of the reading, the 8th house energies are very secretive. So my dear friend, your partner is not letting you stay with your secrets for long. They want you to tell it all, is what I see in this when I see both of them together. For my group number 2, your partner is not going to let things lie down or let them lie low. No, they want to know what is it that you are made up of, what is it that you are hiding, if you are hiding something, and they would like that the secrets are coming out of the grave. So that's what's happening in the future of the relationship, which, my dear group number 2, is very good for you. You found your match, is what I see in the cards and in the reading. Lovely. Now, anything else which Spirit wants to tell me about the future of the relationship for group number 2? Let's see if any more cards fall out. Okay. Now we have King of Cups as well. Oh, wow. So there's a lot of masculine energy in your future. Huh? You both are pretty headstrong, and you both and because King of Cups is now talking about, and he's the most handsomest king. Can you see this King of Cups? I really find this king very handsome in this deck. So this king is about love. It's about relationships. It's about being intuitive and being very creative. So that's also I see in your relationship. I see longevity. I see clarity, and now I also see creativity. So that's why you have Nine of Cups. You see, is there anything else you're wishing for? That also will fall down, I feel, my dear group number two. Now let's see what the Lenormand cards have to tell us about your relationship. So that this will give us a little bit of more insight into it, about the future of the relationship for group number two. We have the key, which is about finding all the answers. So together you will feel that you have found the key to the mysteries of life. Oh, we have the sun again, and we have the cross. Lovely. So you will feel, with this relationship, you will feel very empowered, my dear group number two. This relationship is making you feel that you can do anything and you can be anybody, because you have found the key to the creativity, your own creativity and your partner's creativity, to the brightness, to the light, to the joy, to everything good that is there in the life. And with the cross, we feel that you are able to cross, you are able to take up whatever burden comes your way. It doesn't feel as heavy. Whatever challenges life is throwing at you, because you're together, you're able to face it. What is more beautiful than that? Because things go up and down in our life. Some, you will not have always have good time, you will always not have bad time. Things will change, things will shift, but as long as you're together with your partner, you will feel that all is well. I can take care of it. A burden is not too heavy just because I have my partner to share it with. So beautiful, so beautiful. Now let's see what the oracle cards are telling us about your relationship. Fertility. So you have got the sun twice. You have got the sun in the Lenormand, and you have got the sun card in the tarot, which talks about fertility. And look, in the Ascended Masters deck, you have the card of fertility. So I'm very sure either this group, largely many of you are either planning a family, or already you are on your way to having a child. So good luck to you, my dear friend, because fertility basically talks about having a child, but it also talks about your projects, new creative ventures, which are like your projects. For those of you who are not planning a family as of now, or who are not in a place as of now to start a family, so this is talking about success in your creative ventures. So either if you're planning a conception, you'll be successful in it, or if you're planning a creative venture, you'll be successful at it. But mostly I feel this whole deck is talking about stabilizing of the relationship and starting of a family. So good luck to you, my dear group number two. Now Akasha Tarot says the Oracle of Delphi. Can you see the spread? This card. Yeah, let me show it to you. Yeah. Oracle of Delphi is again talking about group house energies of the 8th house, because this also talks about having an increase in your psychic and your intuitive abilities. You are getting the messages from the universe, and you are somebody is there helping you how to interpret it. You see, the oracle is sitting here, and here is an interpreter. There is another priest standing with the scroll in his hand, who is helping her interpret. So I think that's the role that you are playing in each other's lives. Somebody, if you getting the messages, and your partner is helping you interpret them, or your partner is getting the messages and you are helping them grow and interpret them. So whenever this card comes, Oracle of Delphi, I say to my people that trust your intuition. You know where you are going, and you know what is the right way to be. So now let's see what the Goddess Tarot has to say. Sage, it says quiet time. Take some quiet time alone to rest, meditate, and contemplate. Again, it is talking about your intuitive and your psychic energies. So, but when this card comes, it says you need to declutter your mind. And how do we declutter our mind? We declutter it by going away and being in a quiet zone. So if you feel overwhelmed, my dear group number two, by any situation in life, then the Ascended Masters are telling you that for you to get the answers and for you to know what is the right way to be, you need to you need to travel. You need to just go away. Use this ship energy. You need to go away to a quiet place where you can be with yourself, and the answers will come to you. So that's the suggestion which the oracle cards are giving us, which are like beautiful suggestions. So Sage is telling you that all the cards actually are saying that you are very intuitive. So that's what we began with, group 8 house energies. that you are very intuitive, and there are so many wands in this spread with your partner as well. So your partner is also very intuitive. That is why you might have and very passionate. So you might all your fights, all your arguments will be around that only, but together you make a very good team. Please don't forget that, because Lenormand, be it tarot or be it Lenormand, both the gods are saying it's a beautiful relationship. Good luck to you. I don't see any room for worry in the growth of the relationship as well as the future of the relationship as of now. Thank you for your time, my dear group number 2. Now let's move on to group number 3. So let's see what's the future of relationship for group number 3. Now these are the oracle cards which we shall see towards the end of the reading. I'll keep them here. Now these 3 cards tell me about your energies. How you think, how you feel, and how you react to relationships. That's what these cards are saying. I shall be shuffling on camera to know about your partner and about the future of the relationship. So let's see. Now, if these cards resonate with you, then this is your pile, and if it doesn't, then please choose another pile. Right? Now let's see. This is the Vedic astrological deck. It's talking about, so you are like a sun, my dear fellow. You are very authoritative, very strong. You have a lot of charisma, a lot of leadership qualities, very, very confident in, in yourself. As a person, you are very confident, and you're almost like people look up to you, because we look up to the sun, right? So people look up to you as for guidance, for leadership, and you're also a very loyal friend. So there's a lot of loyalty in you. You're very determined, and there is nothing that you cannot achieve when you put your mind to it. It's a beautiful planet, sun. In Vedic astrology, we call it a planet. We don't call it a star, right? So so what it tells me about your relationship is that you can easily outshine anybody, right? So you and for the planet sun, the ego is pretty huge. You like to be praised. You don't like criticism. You don't like people challenging you. You don't like people questioning you. So that could create problem or a challenge in the relationship when there is somebody who is questioning your authority. You do not like it. And as I said, sun has a huge ego, so you really do feel you are right. And yeah, most of the time you must be right, but not all the time, my dear group number 3. So yeah, you outshine people, and in a relationship, you take a lead. You are the main lead role. That is what you take. You like to be dominating and have a domineering role in a relationship. So let's see what the Moonology card has to say. A fiery climax approaches, full moon in Aries. It's basically talking about the sun only. It's like, are you somebody who is very focused or very selfish about what they want in life, and they think they are always right? That's what the sun card also does. Sun energy also does. And it's time to me and start to show compassion towards other person's point of view. So that's the message which this full moon in Aries gives, because emotions are riding high, right? Passions and emotions are riding high, and it's good to be determined, but it's also, you in a relationship, because we are doing a relationship reading, determination though is good, but you also need to listen to other person's point of view. You cannot overrule them. It's not a good idea to overrule others. It's always better to understand and appreciate where the other person is also coming from, my dear group number 3. So that is something which you might not have been doing, or that is something which is a challenge for you presently. and you need to correct it. That's the correction that you need to be doing. It's very beautiful to be powerful, to be enigmatic, to be charismatic, and to be a leader. But in a relationship, we need to give equal importance to our counterpart. That's also what this full moon is Aries is guiding you to do. All right, now let's see what the now this is the past life tarot from Doreen Virtue. Oh, okay, it's saying male and female. Can you see male and female? So now it when this card comes, it actually says that you have been playing both the genders in your past life. Say in some life you were a male, then in another life you were a female. If you are a female today in this lifetime, then maybe you were a male in your previous lifetimes. So what it does, it can create a lot of confusion about yourself. So that is why maybe in this lifetime, if you are your significator is the sun, that is why your ego is so huge, because uh, you know uh, maybe in previous lifetime you had to let go of your ego, so it becomes all the more prominent and powerful now. So but when this card comes, it also talks about compassion. It talks about letting you understand and letting things unfold during at their own time and place, and being compassionate mostly not only towards others but also towards yourself, and have the ability to forgive, right? So that is what you are bringing from your past life. Maybe there is a slight confusion, maybe there is an imbalance between the yin and the yang energy. Whether we are male or female, we carry both the energies in ourselves. So when those energies get imbalanced, that's when the trouble happens. And for it to bring it into balance, first we need to recognize where we are going wrong, and then only can we correct it. And for that, we definitely need to listen to the other person's point of view and show a lot of compassion, empathy, and sympathy. Right, my group number 3. Now let's see what now these are your energies that you're bringing to the relationship. Now let's see what are the energies of the other person, about our energies of your counterpart, be it male or female. What energies are they bringing in to the relationship? Also, my group number 3, loyalty is a very, very big, huge factor for you, and I feel you are loyal to the fault. You will stand by people whom you love and whom you believe in, and that is also what you expect from the others. So your standards are pretty high, which is a good thing or a challenge, depending how high your standards are and whether people are able to live up to it or not. So, what are the energies of your counterpart that he or she is bringing to the relationship? Give me a few more cards, Tarot. Okay, I'll take this one. So, let's see. Eight of Wands, Page of Wands, Queen of Cups, and Six of Wands. Beautiful, beautiful energies your counterpart is bringing to. So if you are the sun, then she is the Queen of Cups. So it's like a very good match, I would say. But I also see there are a lot of wands. So your partner is also very passionate. Your partner is also very enthusiastic, very entrepreneurial, wants to do a lot of things in his or her life, and is also very well appreciated in their own community. You see, Six of Wands, this is also a card of victory, but I also see it as a card of appreciation. So your partner is somebody who is very intuitive, very loving, very, very creative, because Queen of Cups is a very creative card, and he or she is also very well appreciated by others for whatever work it is that they do, and they are also extremely intuitive, is what I'm getting from this from these cards. And they also get a lot of information and a lot of messages from the universe. They could be like mediums, is the feeling I'm getting when I see this spread. Now let me see what more tarot has to tell about your partner. Sorry. Page of Swords. So there are too many pages. I see there's a lot of young energy which is depicted in these, though there is also a Queen of Cups here, but there is also a lot of youthful young energy with the Page of Wands and the Page of Swords. So this person could be much younger to you, or could be somebody who's very youthful, as I said. But this person is, as I said earlier, very, very passionate, very enthusiastic, somebody who likes to be in nature, likes to be surrounded by their comforts, but likes to be in nature. And also somebody who is very sharp and very intelligent, because Page of Swords is a very intelligent card. It's a very intelligent page. uh, they could also be very good with because we have two pages here, so I could, and we have Four of Wands as well. So I feel they are also very good with social media, possibly, or they are very good in communications. So they could be in a profession dealing with communication, and they would be very successful doing what they are doing, right? So it could be somebody having a YouTube, or somebody having a business online, right? Their business could be online, which they are mostly managing from home, and it's doing well. And as a person, as I explained, they are creative, they are passionate, they are very strong in their own way. Just like you, they are also very strong personality. Now let's see what is the future of this relationship. What is the future of this relationship? Technique number 3. What is the future of this relationship? Sorry, just a moment. Let me pick up the card. What is the future of this relationship with these two? Cards have very strange energies. Let's see what the future unfolds for you. Now to give me one more card. What is the future of this? Okay, take this one. So let's see what is the future of this relationship. We have Queen of Wands, and we have King of Pentacles. We have the fire and the earth energy. Strength. Okay. King of Swords. Sorry, Knight of Swords. And we have the Chariot. The court cards, and we have the major arcanas as your future. So at the what I see here, I do see you both are together as a very together you form a very strong team. When we have a king and the queen coming up in a relationship reading, so it shows permanence, it shows longevity in a relationship. And King of Pentacles himself shows a relationship which is long term. It's the car, because the pentacles are about manifesting, pentacles are about growth, and they are about longevity in anything. So the King of Pentacles here shows that, of course, this is a serious relationship and you want to take it to the next level. If you're not married, then possibly you are looking forward to getting married to each other. And in Queen of Wands is again a very passionate woman. So your counterpart, my dear friend, if you are the King of Pentacle, then your counterpart is definitely very sorted. They know how they know what they want in life, and they know how to get it, and they are very focused, and they're go-getters. you know, because there are too many wands in the reading earlier as well. We saw a lot of wands in what your how your counterpart is, and these are, it's showing very strong women. It's showing queen of cups, and it's showing queen of wands. So it could be a mature person with a very youthful energy, or it could be a youthful person with a very mature energy. It could be either one of the two for you, my dear group number 3, because I have the queens and I have the pages. I have everything in this reading. Now it shows that, okay, now but the interesting part here is we have the strength card. Now in the future of the relationship is showing that you guys need to kind of adjust to each other's nature, because you are both in your own space. You are very strong contenders. You are very fixed and you are very focused in your own thinking. You both think that you know what is right for yourself or for the relationship, but there has to be a lot of communication with each other, which is what this Knight of Swords is saying, but it is coming after the strength card. So it is telling me that you need to work on this relationship, my dear group number 3. And this relationship, if you're asking me, it's worth working at, because ultimately it will make you both strong. You know, you will become more powerful in your own zone. You will become more strong in your own zone, because this is also a sun energy, and we had the sun card right at the beginning, the planet sun, right? So you need to work at it, and you need to show compassion to each other. You need to show the softer side of yourself to your partner, which is very, very essential for the relationship to grow. And you need to understand when to give each other space, and uh, when to be together, right? So that is what I'm getting from this strength card. You can see this woman petting the head of the lion, and the lion sitting, you know, like a very cute little dog. That's how this lion reminds me of, like a cute little pet. So she has been able to make this lion her pet, and it hasn't happened via because she was trying to overpower this lion. He was trying to show her strength in a physical manner. No, this happens when this woman understands the nature of the lion, and is very much able to tame the beast by understanding, by showing love, by showing compassion, by showing a form of strictness if that is needed. So that is what you need to be with each other. You need to show each other your true self, so that you both become strong in your own zone and the relationship becomes strong. And that happens when you are focused and your communication channels are always open. You're able to tell each other what you want. You're able to discuss with each other your fears, your hopes, your joys, and of course you can be scared even if you have the sun and the strength. We all get scared sometimes, right? So keeping the communication channels open and not hiding the facts. You see, this knight, I cannot see the face of this knight, so he's just hiding away his fate and face, and but he means business. So you don't have to hide it, is what I'm saying. That is the suggestion which I'm getting for you, my dear group number 3, that you don't need to walk away from a conversation. Never do that. Be open. Tell when things are hurting you, when things are not going your way, and you're not liking what your partner is doing, and your partner should do it likewise. And you should also appreciate the other person for their growth, for their strength, for things which are working for them. So it has to be a two-way thing, and it has to be both ways. Don't just tell each other each other's faults. Also discuss about your strengths. Also tell what you appreciate in them, that you also look up to them. It's a good feeling, because you both are so strong in your own zone that you would want to know what the other person actually thinks about you, and you are also wanting to create. You want to have a good impression. You want your partner to look up to you, to respect you. Yes, that's what I'm getting. You want respect from each other. That's what this strength card is also saying. So learn to respect each other, and once you do that, your relationship will go ahead in leaps and bounds, because the last card is the Chariot. So it could be that you will travel together, because chariot means like you're traveling, or it could be that your relationship will go to the next level. It will grow with time. It will show you more abundance, more opportunities, because you are together. You are pooling your resources together, and you are able to build something which is beautiful. But chariot shows growth. Chariot shows movement, and it's a beautiful energy to have in your spread. Right, so let's see if anything more the tarot wants to tell us about the future of your relationship. Five of Cups. As I said, learn, talk to each other always. Be open about your emotions. Be open about your feelings. Have channels of communication open with each other, and focus. Don't only focus on what's not there. Focus on what's there as well, because every day, every time we don't you don't get good news, but then something in your life is working. Focus on that, not what's not working, because sometimes we are in a situation when things are not working out, but if you focus only on the negative, then you just destroy something which is very beautiful. That should not happen. That is what the Strength card is warning you about, right? So don't feel lonely. Don't feel you don't have each other, because you do. Only thing is, you just have to approach each other, and the other person, I am sure, will respond in a positive manner. Three of Pentacles. So lovely. So I also feel that you guys, my dear group number 3, you guys could also work together towards a common goal, because Chariot is also a very focused work energy. So you might travel for work or work together on, or build something together. That's also a very strong possibility, or maybe you're already thinking about working together towards a common goal. It could be a business idea, it could be an enterprise, it could be that you're working together in the same or that you're working in the same field, or you're in the same office. uh, it could be anything. See which resonates with you. All right, now let's see what Lenormand has to tell us about you, my dear group number 3. What is the future of the relationship for group number 3? So nice lilies. Okay, so what the Lenormand is telling me, that there is something you have to let go of, anxieties and fears which might nibble at you from time to time, because this is a permanent long-term thing. That's what the lilies say. It's here to stay. And once you are able to appreciate each other, is what the tarot is also showing me. Only then will you be able to clear the clouds or the confusion which might come to you from time to time. My dear group number 3. Now let's see what more Lenormand wants to tell us about the confusion, because clouds are creating confusion. But Lily in the middle is a very positive, strong energy. But I feel in your relationship, you have to let go of ego with each other. You have to be more compassionate, and you have to have more clarity between the two of you. And then it's a very beautiful, strong relationship. Okay, it will clear the confusion about the lady. Okay, fine. So that's what the Lenormand is also telling me, that it is a long-term thing. It's a long-term relationship, but there could be moments when you are confused, and you're confused about the other person. And for that, to clear the confusion, what the tarot is telling us is that you need to be more compassionate, you need to be more open, you need to have the communication channels always open with each other, and always respect each other's strength, and know that you're there for each other. That's also very, very important. And it's okay to ask for help, my dear group number 3. It's perfectly fine to ask for help, and it doesn't make you look weak. All right, so I think that could be another aspect of your characteristics that you might be dealing with, because you both have very, very strong personalities in your own zone. Now let's see what more the angel cards have to tell us. What more? Let's see what clarity they want to give us about the relationship. Health and healing. These are the Ascended Master Tarot deck. So it's telling you that it's don't worry if there are any roadblocks, or there are any challenges, because uh, Archangel Hilarion is with you, and he's helping you heal the situation. So you can always heal whatever problem that might occur in your relationship, and it's not something which is written in stone. It can always be looked upon and worked at. Now this is the Akashic Tarot. What it is saying to us is Five of Roses. So yeah, it's a beautiful card to have. It's showing that children might play an important role in your life, and because there are two kids here, a boy and a girl, both are playing in the garden. So it's a beautiful fertility card which shows you might, if you're planning, then you might be blessed with kids. That's what the Akasha is saying. And Kuan Yin, this is the Goddess Tarot deck. Kuan Yin is, look at it, it's also talking about compassion. So that's what I'm saying. You have to be compassionate with each other. That's the key to your relationship, my dear group number 3. So it says release judgments about others and yourself and focus on the love and light that is within everyone. Isn't that beautiful? So my dear group number 3, it's a beautiful relationship. Only thing is that you have to let go of your ego. You have to let go of trying to be right all the time, and appreciate the other person, show compassion, and you will see beautiful growth, because everything else is working for you in this relationship. Yeah, so that's it for my group number 3. Now let's see what's in store for group number 4. See what group 4 has in store as far as future of their relationship is concerned. Now these are the Goddess and the Oracle cards, and we shall look into it later. These are the ones which are going to give us the guidance. These are the cards which are going to tell me about you, about how you feel, how you think, and why you are the way you are. And if these 3 cards resonate with you, then this is your reading. Otherwise, feel free to choose another pile. Okay, so listen to this and then just figure out whether it's talking about you or not. Right? So now let's see what's the first card. This is the Vedic astrology deck. It is focusing on the second house. Lovely. So this is telling me that you are a foodie. Possibly you love to eat different kind of food. You are very good in talking. You have very good oratory skills. You are also very good with management of money, and mostly family money. So you're also close to the family, but also very good at managing the family money. So overall, a very good energy to have also in a relationship, wherein you are able to talk about what is it that you want or how you feel, and also manage money and eat food. What more can we ask for? So that's the energy of the second house. Now this is your personality, my dear. So this is how you come across to other people. Somebody who loves to eat, somebody who loves to talk, somebody is very, very settled and very stable in their life as far as money is concerned, right? So, and of course, coming from a good, well-settled family. So that's what this energy of this card is, of the second house. Now let's see how is your mindset. Communication is the key. New moon in Gemini. So I think communication plays a very major role for you, because it's also the second house energy, and it's also the energy of your mind. So you do love to talk to people, you do love to socialize, is what I feel from this card. You could also have a lot of friends, and but the only challenge which I see here in this card of communication, in this new moon in Gemini, is that you could be interested in so many things that it can get scattered, because Gemini is a very intelligent energy. So you are a very intelligent person, my dear group number 4, and you are interested in a number of things. And what happens when we are interested in a number of things, we really don't know what is that one thing we want in life, because experimentation becomes the key. And to focus our energies, we have to actually focus on one thing or a couple of things. So that is the only challenge which I feel is here. But yeah, for you, communication is actually the key. And also you also have second house energy, so both the cards are resonating with each other. Now let's see what you're bringing in the relationship from your past life. So you, as in a relationship you would be very good in communication, and you would want your partner to also tell you what is it that they want and how they feel. So that's lovely, I feel. I think any relationship thrives very well if communication is good, right? So now let's see what energies you're bringing from your past life. This is the past life oracle cards by Doreen Virtue. You bring in wisdom. So all three energies are actually resonating, which is happened for only pile number 4, I guess. So when I see this card of wisdom, I feel you have gained a lot of knowledge. You have studied a lot, and you have been very wise in your previous lifetimes, and you bring that knowledge forward in this lifetime. And you also bring in a desire to learn new things, and also that resonates with the Gemini energy and the second house energy, wherein the desire to, as I said, as a Gemini, the desire to experiment is very strong. And when you have the card of wisdom as your past life card, that means in this lifetime also you'll be constantly upgrading yourself. You look at learning new things and uh, understanding new subjects. So that's what your energy is. So quite a versatile and quite a active mind is what you have, my dear group number 4. Now let's see what are the energies that, and it is also a very flirtatious energy is what I feel. So you could be very good in flirting with people, or there are people who flirt with you because you are quite social in your personal space, right? So now let's see what are the energies of your partner, right? What energies your partner is bringing forth. More cards. I think Tarot doesn't want to give me any more cards, saying read the ones which have fallen first. Alright, so we'll read these cards which have fallen. So 8 of Cups, the Lovers, and 2 of Pentacles. Okay, so your partner has left something behind. It could be a relationship, it could be a job, it could be a city, but whatever it is, they have left it behind. It was a difficult decision to make, but they had to do it. They had to choose, because we have the Lovers card. They had to choose between a couple of options and couple of things. So that's the energy that they are going through right now. It could be that you're together, or it could be you will be together in near future, because Lovers also talks about relationships. So maybe you are at a stage, or your partner is at a stage wherein he is choosing between you and one more person. That is also a possibility, but this person has definitely left something behind, something which didn't work out. They had to let go of. Now let's see what more I can get for the energies of your partner. Because they have to choose, or they have to decide, but they are trying to balance out various factors of your life, or maybe they are seriously contemplating between between two people, you and one more person. Page of Pentacles. Look, they are pensively thinking. They are thinking whether this will work or not work, whether I should invest myself in this new relationship or not, because earlier the relationship hasn't worked as well for them. So yeah, let's see what more tarot can tell us about your partner. So I feel, my dear group number 4, the relationship that you are inquiring about is not yet final. That's what I feel. I think it is somebody you met on social media or in your social circle, and this person is going through Queen of Swords. So this person is going through their own dilemma as of now, and they have not decided that you are the one. They are seriously thinking about going ahead with one person. They are wanting to have the clarity with the Queen of Swords. You can see the Queen of Swords card is here as well. So they want to have clarity, and they are aiming for it. They are asking for it. But as of now, when I see, these three cards together, when I see all these three cards together, I see the Lovers, I see the Two of Pentacles, and I see the Page of Pentacles. I feel the decision is right now not being made about which way they want to go, but soon they will have clarity with the Queen of Swords. So let's see. Let's see what is the future if this relationship turns around, whether it stays as a friendship or it stays as a romantic relation or it turns into a romantic relationship. Let's see what is the future of the relationship. Yeah, what is the future of relationship for group number 4? Knight of Pentacles. So even if they decide, your the other person decides, or you, because this is the other person who is deciding here, even if they decide to go ahead with you, the movement could be very slow, because Knight of Pentacles is the slowest moving knight in the entire deck. It is not somebody who moves uh, with lot of speed. But the other card is Eight of Wands. So once I think they have decided and they feel secure with you, because Knight of Pentacles also talks about, because it's a pentacle, it talks about building real things. They're not talking in the air. They mean business. If they're looking for a relationship with you, then they're looking long term and they're wanting a long term relationship, not a short term fling. This is what something which you have to be very sure of, because there are a lot of pentacles in this reading. So they are very serious about what they want in life, and they're seriously trying to make the right decision, because they have left, as I said, something has made them very sad in their past, and it would mostly be a relationship which didn't work out. So now they are very serious about choosing the right person and not investing their energies in something which they don't see a long term potential in. All right, my dear group number 4. So once they are sure of you, which might take some time, so you, my dear Gemini energy, have to keep patience, which is not your very strong suit. You might not be able to keep a lot of patience, but if you keep your patience, then things will suddenly start moving very fast, and then they will want to work on this relationship together so that it stays healthy. There's a lot of effort that they are also going to put into the relationship, and you are. But once it only happens once they decide, and that is going to take some time. That's not going to happen with a click of the finger, and you should not force them. Yeah, that's my suggestion to you. Do not force your partner to choose you or to decide fast, because they will not do that. They will, because it's a pentacle energy, it's a heavy energy, they take their time. But once they decide that this is what I want to do in my life, you cannot shake them from that either. So it might take some time, but it's a very solid, this is something you can depend on. That's, let me put it that way, this is something you can depend on. So what more can the spirit tell us about your relationship? Justice. So they will look for balance in the relationship. They will not want to, it won't happen that, though they will try to work on the relationship, but they also would want you to do the same. Okay, because I think previously that could have been an issue with them, that they gave in more than the other person, and that left them feeling drained and used. So that's the energy they don't want happening. So when the Justice card comes, it talks about, okay, it's telling me two things. A, they would want to legalize the relationship. uh, when I say legalize, it could be having a, making a contract, like a court marriage or something like that is a possibility for you guys once you are through with this Knight of Pentacle energy. And also when this card comes, it's about balance. You see, Justice, this is holding the two balances in her hand, and they are both equally balanced. Nothing is up and nothing is down. So they are looking for balance. They are looking for equal take from both the parties in the relationship. And also they are very wise. You see the owl here? Owl is a symbol of wisdom. So once you are together, you are any which ways very wise. You have a lot of wisdom. This will bring out the wisdom, the learning part for you. This relationship will make it grow and make it flourish, because you might not be aware about your knowledge. Sometimes we are not aware, we just have it, but it's not triggered. So this relationship might trigger that part of you which makes you learn new things, which makes you grow in your own personal space as well. And then we also have Queen of Pentacles. So they are definitely looking for, this relationship will become something tangible, something sustainable after the short breaks or after the decision making which your person is doing. The other cards are very very positive, but they are all pentacles, so they mean business, my dear friend. They are not here for a fling. They are not here for a one night stand. They are not here to flirt with you. Don't have to flirt with them and walk away. They mean business. They're looking for long term, and they want that, and they would spend their time and energy on somebody who can give it to them, because Queen of Pentacles is also a very very powerful and very very sustainable energy. This queen has the work life balance. She knows, she has her, it could be that they have their own business. Yeah, there's so many pentacles, they could be in business by themselves. uh, it could be something related to insurance, something related to property, something related to money management, food, could be any of these things. Anything more Tarot wants to tell me about your relationship? The Fool. Finally, a light-hearted energy of the Fool. So I do feel there would be there would be a transition in your relationship. You might feel that it is something very serious, something you need to work on, something which requires a lot of balance, and something which is not light-hearted. But we also have the energy of the Fool. So in the end, which gives it a kind of a zing, a kind of light-hearted. Uh, once they are comfortable with you, they will be ready to take risks with you. It could be about trying out different places to travel, being more social, taking risks in work, in personal life, just letting it go. So that's the energy this Fool has, that energy which trusts the universe and just let it go and fly. So that's a good thing. It's like rejuvenation of the relationship will happen. So overall, a very good energy, my dear group number 4. But yes, you might have to wait for them to decide, and you cannot force them. Right now, let's see what the Lenormand has to say more about your relationship. What how will be the what is the future of relationship for group number 4? So I'm very sure you'll meet them in your social circle, because we have the Garden, we have the Tower, and we have the Lady. So you'll meet them in your social circle. And Tower is also about growth, is about high attainment of high status in life. So it could be that this person, as I said, is already at a good position. This woman is already at a good position in her life. I'm saying women, it could, if you are a male, it could be a female, or vice versa, whichever resonates with you. So I see, because of your energies, Gemini energies being prominent, you might meet them in a social in a they might be part of your network circle, or you might meet them in a social surrounding, and it would help them grow, and it would help you grow in your work as well. And it could be a work related network where you'll meet this person. And what happens once you are with them? It is actually Lenormand has actually shown me where you're going to meet them. All right. So what this lady has to do, she's removing things which are not working for her. She, as I said, she's walking away from something. That's what the Lenormand is also saying. So she's removing things which are not working for her, and she's there is a communication channel open between you two. I think uh, that is the most beautiful part of your relationship, an open and honest communication. You'll always have that, which is a struggle for many, many of the couples, but it's not for you. And the rider brings in happy news, some good news with the letter the rider is bringing in. So if you're waiting for her to make a decision, I think she's quite near to making it, and and it's going to be good news because the rider is the harbinger of good news. So that's what the it's telling me, where you could have possibly met each other, and she has removed something from her life. Maybe, as I said, she's contemplating between two relationships, two people. Now she has removed that one person, and then the news is coming to you that it's you. So it could be via social media, it could be a message, it could be a text, it could be anything, right? So that's what the Lenormand is telling me. Now let's see what is the guidance which the oracle cards are giving you. This is the Ascended Masters oracle card. It's saying focus upon your strengths, Apollo. So this is also the card which says don't give up, don't get disheartened, don't give up. Focus on your strength, and you will be on the right track. You know where to go. That's what Apollo is saying. It's a very, very powerful energy. It's the energy of the sun. Apollo is the sun god in Greek mythology. So Aphrodite, inner goddess, awaken the goddess within you through dance, self-care, and appreciating your divinity. So this is the goddess of love and sexuality, Aphrodite. And whether you are male or female, it's asking you to nurture your inner female. That means take care of yourself. How do you take care of yourself? Go for spa, go for music, play some music instrument, do some creative project. Even if you're not creative, sit down and paint or listen to music. Something which opens the receptive channels in you is what Aphrodite is asking you to do. The lookout. So it says, even though things around you might feel are burning, things around you are not going your way, still you have an option of walking away from this, and you should be on a lookout for better opportunities and horizons. So that's what the Akashic Tarot is telling you. So my dear group number 4, it seems to be a lovely relationship. I think it is worth waiting for, but that of course is your choice. You have to keep patient, and if you are patient, and if you are if you stick to your guns, then this is a long term relationship which will give you a lot of growth and joy. That's what I feel. uh, that's about it for today. If you like the reading, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel, and I'll catch you in the next reading. Now, thank you so much for your time. Bye bye.